Hey, what is up, y'all? Today we are back with another video, and today we have NFL predictions week 16. This season is flown by, and I think I did okay last week. I didn't check my record, but I'm pretty sure I did okay, like around 500 again, because this season's very unpredictable. But we're starting off with a great game this week, the Rams and Seahawks. The Seahawks are just beat Philip Rivers and the Colts by 2 by kicking all field goals. That's sustainable when you're playing against a 44-year-old grandpa, but it's not sustainable against the Rams. You're going to have to score more than field goals. So they didn't play too good, and they've struggled on offense recently in the beginning of games, so that could be an issue. And the Rams just blew out the Lions last week. It was a 7-point game, but it really wasn't close by the fourth quarter. So, yeah, and that's against the Lions, too. That's a really good team. Or a pretty decent team. I think the Rams are going to beat the Seahawks with a score of 24-21 to clinch the division and probably the 1 seed. Now for the Saturday games. Eagles, Commanders. The Commanders beat the Giants, which isn't really surprising, but I didn't count on it. So, I picked the Giants, so it kind of surprised me, but it didn't really. And the Eagles got back on track by shutting out the Raiders. It's the Raiders, so I'm not sure. It's kind of like a free win, so it doesn't really mean anything to them. But so are the Commanders. They're a free win for the Eagles, or should be. Because if the Eagles beat the Commanders this week, they've clinched the division and eliminated Dallas from the playoffs, which I think they will do with the final score of 28-7. Now for the good game of Saturday, there's the Packers and the Bears, an NFC North heavyweight battle. There's the Packers, who just lost to the Broncos, who are a really good team, and the Bears, who bounced back with a win last week. Both teams, I think the Bears are going to beat the Packers. It's in Chicago this time, and by the way, these two teams, I think they would split the series, and Green Bay won last time, so I think the Bears are going to win this time, with the Bears beating them with a score of 27-24, heavily relying on their strong rushing game they should have time to throw with Parsons with a torn ACL. Now for the Sunday games. Bills, Browns. The Bills are starting to heat up. They just got a huge win in the division against New England, which is huge for them, especially since New England's playing a challenging game. So if they win this, they could get in front of the division. And the Browns just got destroyed by the Bears last week. Shedeur did not play good. I think he should play a little bit better against Buffalo simply because their secondary is weaker. But other than that, I think the Bills are going to beat the Browns with a score of 35-17. Next for the Chargers and Cowboys. Cowboys lose, they're out of the playoffs, and Philly wins no matter what happens on Sunday. No matter what happens to Philly on Saturday against the Commanders. Actually, no, I'm not sure, but this is a must-win game for them. Oh yeah, they are eliminated if they lose Dallas. And the Chargers just eliminated the Chiefs. And if Chiefs fans say, well, Mahomes tore his ACL, so it wasn't on Mahomes. It was. He did not play. Mahomes not play good. It was a good defensive performance from the Chargers. So I think that's a good win. And Dallas just lost last week to J.J. McCarthy. So that's not a good sign. I think the Chargers beat the Cowboys with a score of 31-28. If J.J. McCarthy can dice up the Cowboys, Justin Herbert sure can. Now for the Chiefs-Titans game. The Titans lost last week to San Fran, but they played pretty good. Cam Ward in particular. He had like 180 yards, 2 touchdowns, played phenomenally. Tony Pollard's played good the past 2 weeks. So that's a good sign. Things are starting to roll better for Titans, even though they're still not a good team. And the Chiefs, without Patrick Mahomes for the rest of the season, eliminated from the playoffs. They have nothing to play for. I think the Titans are going to beat Kansas City because I think Jeffrey Simmons is going to cause a huge issue for Gardner Minshew as for the Chiefs. So that's going to be a huge factor in the game. So I think the Titans are going to beat the Chiefs with a score of 23-20. Now for the Bengals-Dolphins. Dolphins have benched Tua and are starting Quinn Ewers. I'm not sure how if that's going to hurt them that much because Tua has not played good this year. 20 touchdowns, 15 picks. That's horrible. So they'll see what he's got. And the Bengals just got shut out by the Ravens last week. It was horrible. So that's not a good sign either. These are two teams with potential that just are not using it this year. So I think the Bengals are going to beat the Dolphins with a score of 31-13, simply because I'm not sure how Quinn Ewers does. He is a 7th round quarterback, even though I did see some of his game for Texas. He looked good, but he didn't look like the greatest quarterback of all time. So I think the Bengals are going to beat the Dolphins. Now for the bad game of the week, we have the Jets and Saints. Now, the Jets just got destroyed in Jacksonville. Their defense got cooked. Brady Cook got shut down. And the Saints are coming off of 2 really impressive wins against the Bucs and the Panthers to play spoiler in the division, basically. I think the Saints are more talented than the Jets. So I think the Saints are going to beat the Jets with a score of 20-13. It's not going to be a good, pretty game. Vikings and the Giants. The Vikings are on a roll now. They won 2 games in a row, even though they're eliminated. JJ McCarthy's starting to play better, and the Giants suck. They're not a good team. Jackson Dart's okay, but he has no weapons to throw to because Neighbors is hurt. This season's over. I think they're trying to tank this year. I think the Vikings beat the Giants with a score of 31-24, simply because the Giants' defense is not good, so I think Minnesota's going to score a lot. And now for another crucial game for a playoff spot, Tampa Bay, and the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers just lost to the Saints, and the Bucks lost to the Kirk Cousins and the Falcons. Pardon me, I'm sick. The Panthers, the thing with the Panthers is that they play bad one week and good the next. Since they played bad last week, Bryce Young's going to light up Tampa Bay's weak secondary. If Kirk Cousins could do it, Bryce Young definitely can. And I think Tampa's still going to play good but against this Carolina defense, but it's not going to work. So I think the Panthers are going to beat the Bucks with a score of 31-27 in a great game. Now for another great game, Jags-Broncos. The Jags are on a roll. I think they are legit Super Bowl contenders. And the Broncos are one of the best teams in the league. They have an incredible defense, and they have an offense that gets the job done. So it's gonna be hard to pick, but I think Denver's gonna beat Jacksonville with a score of 34-28. Next is the Falcons and the Cardinals. Cardinals got beat again last week, but to the Texans, but their offense is just explosive. They put up 20 points against an incredible Houston's defense. And it was a large part because Jacoby Brissett and Trey McBride cooked the Texans alive. And the Falcons do not have as good of a defense as Houston does. No one does. And even though Cardinals' defense is pretty weak, Kirk Cousins is one of the most inconsistent quarterbacks of all time. So I think Cardinals are going to get a win against the Falcons and win with a score of 34-20. Now for a crucial game for both teams, the Steelers and the Lions. If the Lions lose, they are out of the playoffs, I think. And are likely out. Or San Fran will clinch and Detroit will be one step behind, another step behind Green Bay. And Pittsburgh, if they win, they'll have a really good shot at clinching the division, which would eliminate Baltimore, basically. So it's a huge game for both teams. But I think Detroit is going to beat Pittsburgh with a score of 34-17. 27. Both defenses are not good, but Pittsburgh's secondary is not good. So Amon-Ra and J-Mo are going to cook them alive. Now for another pretty bad game, the Raiders and Texans. Now the Texans got another win against Arizona. I believe that pushed their win streak to 6, and I think it's going to continue to 7 straight games after they beat the Raiders, because the Raiders are playing like the worst team in football right now. They just got shut out by the Eagles. Offense looks weak. Their offense is one of the worst in the league. Their defense is one of the worst in the league. And Houston despite not having the best offense, has the best defense in the league. So I think Houston is going to beat the Raiders with a score of 34-0. The Patriots are playing the Ravens for Sunday Night Football. The Patriots are coming off of a loss to Buffalo where they blew a 21-point lead and a 24-7 lead at halftime. And the Ravens are coming off of a shutout win against the Bengals. This is a must-win game for Baltimore, basically, if they want to. No, it's not. It's not a must-win game for Baltimore, but it would be nice for them to win. And New England, if they want to win the division, they better win this game in order to have a shot, basically. I think New England is going to beat Baltimore with a score of 31-28. I think Lamar's going to continue bouncing back. Now for Monday Night Football. San Fran, Indianapolis. Phillip Rivers is in a primetime game in 2025. Absolutely ridiculous. Colts defense played good against Seattle. Their offense struggled a little bit, but that's okay because Phillip Rivers has not played a game in 5 years. San Fran continues to dominate teams, but they dominated the Titans, which is not very impressive. But I'll tell you this much. The Niners do not have a pass rush. Nick Bosa's out. Fred Warner's out. Their defense is banged up. Colts' offensive line is really good. And if you give Phillip Rivers a clean pocket, I think he can. His football IQ is very high, so he'll be able to pick apart that defense. And San Fran should score well against Indy, but I think Indy is going to upset San Francisco with a score of 31-28 in an incredible game. That's all I have for you guys. Hope you guys enjoy. I will not be making videos for predictions of week 17 or week 18, simply because I'll be on vacation. Hope you guys enjoy. See you guys next time. Peace.